Hello everyone, so welcome back. This is another week in the markets. As you all know, I've been trading since the start of July. So currently it's about the week 7 of my trading journey, this 100k challenge account. My current equity is about 6% in profit. So we are about halfway through the phase 1 challenge. So for this week, I took two trades primarily on 20th August and 22 August. So the trades I taken is in Ethereum and Aussie New Zealand. I also currently have an ongoing trade that I did not close out. I will talk about that as well. So let's get started. So early on in the week, I took the trade on 20th August here. So let me mark out what I've seen that time. So it's actually this black line right here. You can see it has acted as resistance on multiple occasions, right? And it also has a very nice Fibonacci retracement. You can see 0.5, 40, 71.14. So if I zoom into the lower time frames, the hourly, you can see there's also, if I delete this, there's this, oops, oh, I mark it out here, yeah. Wait, sorry, let me mark it up. Let me put on the feed retracement again. You can see there's actually this H1 level right here, exactly at the high of this. The high of this H1 candle is also 4071 as well, same as the Fibonacci retracement. So I draw a box, I put my stop here, and I take profit right there, right at the red line. That's my take profit. Yeah, somewhere here, yeah, somewhere around here. Yep, that's how I took this trade. So it's a very nice trade on the daily time frame with a high time frame Fibonacci retracement confluence, and there's also an untested H1 level right here, which I mark out in pink. So that's my entry on the 20th of August. It was quite a quick trade. I got filled at 0700 and I got out about 1200. So 5 hours time. I take profit at the last support. So although price did went much further, I did not manage to sit in. I got out at the nearest area when possible. So that's my first trade of this week. It happens on Wednesday morning. The second trade I took was on Aussie New Zealand. You can see over here, this level is a very strong level as well. Acted as resistance on 2 occasions. And before the entry was taken, on this candle itself, the 20th of August, the daily candle closed as an engulfing candle. This was the engulfing candle. So the engulfing candle will have to sweep the low and close above. We can look at the previous day, the Tuesday. The low was 1.09394, while the low for Wednesday was 1.09392. 392 is lower than 394. So it swept the low and closed much higher. So indicating to me that the price want to push higher. So I went down to the lower time frames to look for an entry area. So as you guys know from now, usually I use the H1 candle as my stop loss placement. However, there was no H1 candle over here as it was very quick move upwards. So I have no way to frame my stop loss position. So I waited for price to show me some sort of strength. So after the Tuesday close, I observed the first kind of strength was this H1 bullish engulfing candle right here. H1 bullish engulfing candle. And price put in the higher high. So you can see if I go down to the lower time frame, hold on. Okay, let me go down 15 minutes. So Okay, so you can see price put in the high, and then a low, another high, and then another low, another high, another low, as in lower highs and lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. Then you make the first higher high and make a higher low and make another higher high. So this is when I got in after two consecutive higher highs, right? After this hourly candle close, I put an entry right here. I draw this line across, and I put my entry right around here, and my stop right at the bottom, and I take profit right at the top, right here. So this is how my trade went for Aussie New Zealand. So the reason why I enter right at the 0900 candle, other than this higher high, higher low shift, was because I noticed that the spread for crosses, this is a cross pair, Aussie New Zealand, instead of a major pair for FX currency, like Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. I noticed that these cross pairs, the spreads tend to widen very widely during the rollover, which is when a new day starts around 0500. The candle prices have very wide swings. Although on this data feed you can't see this on Oenda data feed, but if you go back and look at your FTMO data feed, actually price did wick lower. So if I did enter like on the first shift before the night close, I probably would have get taken out. So I have two considerations for this trade. So the first consideration was the spread rollover. Spread rollovers during daily open. And the second consideration was I needed a place to put my stop loss. I needed a low time frame place for stop loss placement, right? Yeah, those were my two considerations for this trade. So I managed to got out right at the high. I put a limit order and it filled me right at the high. So this was the trade taken on Friday. This is the second trade, and the last trade I took was on Aussie Canadian. This trade is still ongoing, as you have seen earlier in the dashboard. So this is a mean reversion trade. So I mark out this level right here. It acted as resistance, 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 close above, then went right under, acted as resistance again, minor deviation, and before a strong push upwards. So on Friday, price nuked very violently into my level, hence I've taken it. You can see the average true range was 62, and price has already traveled 107 before it filled my position. So it's a very large candle. So this is how I have my profit markup. Yep. That's how I have it for this week. As in, I'll leave this position. As in, this position is currently still open, and we'll see what next week brings. So I have some pairs that I forecasted for the upcoming week. So the first one I have is actually silver. You can see this level right here. I'm gonna delete all this. So this is acted as a nice resistance, and a nice resistance. So if price comes down, I might take a trade, right? So it's a one touch level with a daily low, last high pre-breakout. So I probably need a Fibonacci or a daily true range for my trade. Yeah, the Fibonacci is pretty close as well. Yeah, I might take this trade. That's one of the levels I've marked. Another level I have is on pound Aussie. Since it's a one touch level with a 0.618 Fibonacci. So I draw it like this. So to take this trade, I need the daily true range to be exceeded as well. So I need price to come down swiftly. Then I'll play it to somewhere here. Yep. Another one of my setups I have is a New Zealand dollar. This is a one touch level. You can see price reacted very strongly away. There's also a low time frame H1 cluster right here, so I mark that out for my stop loss placement. So I need the Fibonacci or daily average true range. So you can see the Fibonacci, there's no Fibonacci that aligns with this level. 0.5 is somewhere here, 0.618 is in between my stop loss. So it doesn't really count as a confluence. Usually I like my Fibonacci to be nearer the front of my entry area, so it can help to act as a potential confluence. So since I do not have Fibonacci confluence, I will need the daily average true range to be exceeded, something like this, and a quick spike. Then I might play it down maybe here, maybe to do H1 highs. We shall see. Oh, this is one of my favorite potential setup for this upcoming week. So I'll mark this out like this for you. You can see this level, mark out here, 86.68 is a very strong level. It acted as support here once, acted as support here twice, and it also has the Fibonacci confluence right here. It's close enough, it's only about 4 pips from my entry position. So this is probably how I would take the trade if it comes. A bit over 1 hour, or might be just 1 hour. Yeah, if price can comes up swiftly, yeah, definitely taking this trade. Very nice level, very clean. You can see acted as very support, and the breakdown was very clean, very strong trust candle on the breakdown. So I would love to have this entry if possible next week, and have 2 more very nice setup as well. I've marked it out here, very strong breakdown. You can see this level. My entry position will be the black line, 8265. So before I go to the before I show you how clean the level is first, you can see acted as support 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, and the 4th time actually also came very close, even though it didn't touch. Okay, so 3 times, 3 weaker bounce, so weaker and weaker, and it finally broke through on Friday. And when it broke through on Friday, it closed as an engulfing candle. You can see it swept the high, it swept the previous day high, and closed cleanly below all the lows. All these lows that have been consolidating here since 29 July, almost close to 1 month, since on Monday it will be 25th August, almost close to 1 month of consolidation, and it closed right beneath all these lows. So I have a bearish bias going into this trade. I will take my position here. Since I have a daily bias, right? Since I have a daily bias from this daily candle, my take profit will be a daily level as well. So it's either I take profit on this daily level here, or take profit at this 79.75. So I decided to take profit on the lower level because this consolidation has been going on for quite a period of time, and not only that, each time it touched this level, the reaction was actually weaker. You can see this bounce was 142 pips, the second bounce was only 105 pips, and the last bounce was only 77 pips. So as each bounce gets weaker, I think price will eventually resolve much lower than here. Hence I've decided to take profit right at here. Hopefully I get a fill before I get my position filled before my target is reached. I would love to take this position, something like this. Right. So you might be wondering how did I get my stop loss placement over here, because on the H1 time frame usually I put my stop loss behind a H1 candle. So actually for this, since the hourly candle was so huge, I have to go down to the lower time frame to look for a cluster. So this is the cluster I found. You can see this was a cluster. It bounced before it nuked down. So that's how I draw that box. But I was unable to use this method for my earlier position that I take this week on Aussie New Zealand. Remember this candle that I had to look for H1 low time frame for stop loss placement? That's because even when I go down to the lower time frames, there was no cluster. You can see price just keep going straight up. There was no cluster, and once it reached that level, whereas for this level Swiss dollars Swiss, there was actually uh this cluster right here before the breakdown, hence I put my stop right above this high. Yep, that's my setup. Is one of my favorite setup going into this week. And the last setup I have is a pound Swiss. um Similarly, there are two levels I'm watching. One is this 1.07906, looking for a quick mean reversion if it exceeds the daily true range. And for this, the above, it's just a one touch level for me, so I still need two extra confluence, either the Fibonacci or the average true range. So I'll be monitoring what happens here. Maybe price goes down and come up very swiftly. It's possible as well. So if it exceeds the average true range, I might play a quick mean reversion to probably just the highs here, the hourly highs, for probably 1 hour. Yeah, we shall see. So that's all the forecast for this week. We're currently halfway through my phase 1 challenge as previously shown. So we'll keep it going, and hopefully I'll see you guys at the next update will be at the end of August. We'll see these two will be trading for 2 full months. So see you guys in the next update.